Last week at the end of the show, I gave out a wild number of 8 touchdown props. I went for 4 for 8. Not too bad.
That's pretty good, Kenny.
Not too bad, but that's way too many. So I picked my 3 favorite this week for glitch in the system. So we're going to start with a name you guys probably didn't think I'd bring up to start this one. Anytime touchdown, Daniel Jones.
Ooh.
He had 2 last week, but the number here is key because there's a wide range on this prop depending on what sportsbook you're shopping at. I see plus 250 out there. 2.5 to 1 here is a steal. I also see like plus 185, plus 190, 2 to 1. But plus 250. He scored twice last week. Shane Steichen, he comes from Philly. They do the tush push there, of course. Even though they have Jonathan Taylor, they're going to do the tush push if they're at the 1 yard line with Daniel Jones. He also can run as well. So I just think it's a great number for Daniel Jones. Of course, going to have the ball in his hands every play here. Plus 250 anytime touchdown. What are we thinking? Is this a glitch?
I mean, I think price-wise, plus 250, that's a good number. So I would say that in itself is a glitch. I'm not sure Daniel Jones is the Daniel Jones we saw last week.
I'll say it's a glitch in the system because PS2 and Denver play. Well, PS2 is going to shadow Michael Pittman and be back and forth, right?
Yep.
So if you take away the number one option for Daniel Jones on the edge, out wide, maybe there's just a couple spots where he gets in the red zone and there's just nowhere to go with the rock, and the only thing he can do is get out of the pocket, put his head down, and try to get in the end zone. Plus 250 seems pretty long. I agree.
Long for a quarterback, too.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Even the least mobile quarterbacks. Yeah, that's a good one, Kenny. We like it. Glitch.
Let's stick with the quarterbacks because I don't know how this isn't like minus 200, minus 300 range. Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl rematch. I know it's the Chiefs defense, and they've actually defended it well compared to some other teams. Some teams can't defend it at all. I know they've got Chris Jones in the middle, but the fact that a Jalen Hurts touchdown is still bettable here at minus 115. And I don't really understand the difference between him and Barkley. Barkley, of course, can score touchdowns. He's one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL. But he's minus 150, and we know the Eagles' goal line play is. We know that they're going to push Hurts in from the 1 or the 2 yard line. So I think at minus 115, the fact that this is still bettable, and we'll see as the season goes on if this number continues to drift. I just think this is a perfect. Even though this shouldn't be a high-scoring game in Kansas City, I still think Jalen Hurts for an anytime touchdown is a great bet.
It's hard to argue with that. Does make me a little nervous. It's minus 115.
I agree with your sense, Kenny, that like it's still bettable. At some point, this number, like later on in the season, we're probably going to see like a minus 130, minus 140 for a Jalen Hurts touchdown, right? Like it's just, especially if the tush push continues at a pretty high rate, like his number for an anytime is going to drop. So in terms of it just being still a bettable number this early in the season, yeah, I'd say that's a good glitch.
Yeah, and if you go back to the Super Bowl, Saquon
didn't do a whole lot.
No.
Quiet game for Saquon.
25 carries, 57 yards, 2.3 yards a carry. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts had 11 carries for 72, a touchdown, a long of 17.
Yeah.
Kenny might be cooking with grease
these
on these first 2
touchdowns.
picks.
Yeah, these quarterback touchdowns. If you can get a good price on a quarterback touchdown, especially if the team's going to push. Josh Allen's another one, very bettable this week.
What's J.J.
still.
McCarthy? I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Let me get that number
because
for you real quick.
He looked very comfortable on that rollout, on that touchdown when he got out in the open field.
Yes,
I could see KLC.
The confidence is there now,
getting back
from
like,
the jump.
let's get this guy out
Just
of
had
the
a
pocket.
baby. So,
Yeah, he did.
He's doing it for the kid.
Yep. Baby Rome.
Yeah, get him out of the pocket a little bit more. That'd be an interesting one too. What did you find that number?
Yeah, I see a 4-1 on McCarthy to score on Sunday Night
Wow.
Football.
That's
really
a
good.
glitch right there, I think.
4-1 is
4-1.
The only issue, though, is it's probably going to have to be on a scramble. I talk about pushing the quarterback in because I brought up Josh Allen, and we saw it last week twice in Indy with Daniel Jones. So I think that's like the added advantage because if you're going to get plus money or at least something that's bettable with a team that's going to do that, I don't know if Minnesota does that. I honestly think they give it to Mason at the 1. So you're asking kind of. I think that's where the number comes in with McCarthy being 4-1. That's all, not that he's not going to score, and I think it's a great look. You made a good point. He looked confident on that run, and the kid can run for sure. But I just don't know what Minnesota's play is there at the 1 yard line is the only thing.
That's a good point. Good point. We also had Pete Bursich on last week that said Jordan Mason's going to get plenty of run, and he did last week.
Oh yeah,
He's someone you can continue to bet on, I think.
As a Jordan Mason fantasy owner, makes me feel very good. So let's go to a wide receiver now for anytime touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, of course, everyone knows the drops last week, but this is still plus money on BetMGM, plus 110. I think if this was minus money, then maybe we wouldn't. But the fact that this is plus money means obviously their go-to star receiver. In other places, of course, he's minus money. BetMGM's offering us plus 110 for a CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown tomorrow. What are we thinking?
Yeah. I mean, simple as
it
that.
seems
like,
obvious.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else to really say about that.
How many targets did he have last week? 7 receptions. I don't know how many targets he had. 110 yards. Like
at least 11. If not
yeah.
more.
I mean, it felt like the ball was going to him every opportunity. 13 targets last week. I mean, as a George Pickens fantasy I wasn't pretty happy with that. But
I don't really jump in. I think this is a glitch.
Yeah.
Because I think that CeeDee Lamb should be like minus 130 right now because they're going to try to get him the ball, feed him in. He was open almost.
Especially he had a lot of drops last week. Let's erase those, get those out of his mind, get him going early.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that both wide receivers. I mean, Giants are dreadful. I mean, that offense was putrid last week.
Yeah.
But I would think both wide Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are going to probably score in this game tomorrow.
I love this play.
Yeah.
That's who he throws the ball to. Period, point blank, that's it. That's an end of story. And when you're talking about props, especially wide receiver props, I need to be very confident that you're going to get the vast majority of the targets. I don't know the exact number, but CeeDee Lamb last year's top 3 percentage-wise. I don't know if A.J. Brown's going to get targets week to week. I flat out don't know. Mm-hmm. There's one thing about CeeDee. He will get the ball over and over and over again. The Giants are really good up front. If they could get Dak some time, CeeDee should be able to chew up the secondary. And if you go back to the game against Philly, he was eating Philly alive early. Mm-hmm. They had no answer for CeeDee to start the game. The drops came later. I really like this spot. Glitch, I agree with Merkin. I would take plus dollars on CeeDee to catch a touchdown. He's going to end the year with 10 or 12, 13 probably. So, yeah, I like this spot.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good history against the Giants. I'll throw a bonus one. I said I only have 3. I'll throw a bonus one out there just because we haven't really brought it up. I think we've mentioned the game a little bit, but the DK Metcalf revenge game, you can get a plus 160 out there for DK Metcalf tomorrow to score against his former team. I know Seattle's got a good defense and a pretty good secondary, but I think for the price alone and given the narrative, I think it's a great bet. What do you guys think?
What did you say the price was?
Plus 160. And I think Rodgers is going to be thinking about this too. I think
love
Rodgers.
That. I mean, if there's anyone that's more petty than Aaron Rodgers, right? He's going to be like, let's get you in the end zone once, if not twice, right? And I mean, I don't even know how many targets he had in the first week, but plus 160, yes, I'm all in on that one as well. I think that's
the one thing I do worry about is Arthur Smith, the way he runs his offense. It's like everybody, like Ben Skoranek scored a touchdown last week. Like Jonnu Smith will probably score this week. Like, so that's the only thing I worry about is Arthur Smith is so multiple in who he uses, especially at the goal line. But also knowing Rodgers, I think Rodgers is going to at least target him in the red zone. So I think plus 160.
I was just going to say, this is one of those things where Metcalf pulls Rodgers to the side like, hey, man, let's get me in the end zone this week, please. I would really appreciate it. I would love to stick it to these dudes because Rodgers knows all about that. He just had it last week against the Jets. And he would be the guy that would make sure CeeDee was feeling good against his old team. Yeah, plus 160 is hefty as well.
All right, Kenny. Can we go 4 for 4 this week? You hit 4 last week.
Yeah, let's hope for 4
I mean, all
4.
of these.
You went 4 for 4 last week, Kenny?
Oh, 4 for 8. I gave out a wild 8 touchdown scores. So
that's profit, though.
That is.